Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's live conversation with one of our amazing speakers from the Women Thrive Summit. Today, I am joined by a special guest, Tanya Newbould. Hi, Tanya, how are you?
Hi, gorgeous. How are you? I'm doing terrific. Thank you for asking.
Where are you joining us from today?
I am joining you from La La Land, also known as Los Angeles, California.
Beautiful. I've never visited, but that's on my dream list to visit. So hopefully we'll meet there one day.
Oh my goodness, come on over. I have a spare bedroom that's fabulous. You can come stay. Hmm.
Oh, I'm so excited about today's conversation. And today we're talking about how to take care of yourself as a new mom. Myself and Tanya, behind the scenes, we're just chatting about motherhood and trying to really see how we can make this life of value to you, listener, right now. And we know that as a mother, you're probably having to juggle so many hats. You're having to have so many responsibilities. And as you go into perhaps new motherhood, it's a new terrain for you to navigate. So this can become very stressful. And well, today's special guest is Tanya Newbould, who's life transformational strategist, but she's so much more than that. So Tanya Newbould is author, speaker, and expert in prenatal mood disorders. She helps new mothers and mothers to really balance the prenatal disorders and support on their journey in more balanced parenthood. So today we're talking about how to have a little bit more balance and take care of yourself as a new mom. So if you're joining us live right now, leave a comment below. Let us know where you're joining us from. And if you're watching this on replay, just put hashtag replay and let me know where in the world you're watching us from. Tanya, it's a pleasure to have you here. I'm excited about our audience getting to know you and obviously sharing some valuable nuggets today.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
So, Tanya, tell me a little bit more about your own journey. I'm really curious for our audience to get to know you as a person.
Oh, thank you for asking. I came about what I do today based on what I've gone through. And what happened is I chose to have a baby. My husband and I did in my 40s. And it took 2 years to get pregnant. I was very blessed. I got pregnant naturally at 42. And I thought this was going to be the greatest thing in the world. I'm having a baby. I mean, I was excited to be pregnant. Everything was great. But at 4.5 months into my pregnancy, I was on my kitchen floor and sobbing. I mean, snot coming out of my nose, bawling my eyes out. And I remember sitting there staring at the gray tile floor going, this can't be normal. What's wrong with me? And I began going to therapy, which was good, but people didn't really recognize. My daughter's 14, so I want to give you that time frame of when this happened. It was in 2008. And people didn't really, therapists and other people recognize, like, oh, this is a form of, it's called antenatal depression. So I go through, I have my daughter by C-section. She comes out nice and healthy. But I went into a very traumatic space of throwing up and violently shaking for 6.5 hours. And I want to preface this by saying that's a traumatic birth, and that can send you into postpartum depression. So for me, 3 weeks into having my daughter, I went into horrific depression. And it was really awful. So I want to talk about, you have a baby, you go home, you have all of these expectations put on you of taking care of this baby, taking care of your household, still being a wife. Maybe you still have to cook dinners and do all these things. It's really hard. And people don't prep you for this. They make it seem like, oh, it's so perfect and you bond. But what happens when you don't bond with your baby? And that was me. And so I really want to reach out. If any of you are listening, oh my God, I feel this so much in my heart. I just want you to know, if that happens to you, you are not crazy. You are not a horrible mama. You are possibly experiencing some form of perinatal mood disorder because it affects 1 in 5 women. And so I want you to be aware of that.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty incredible. I have met some women in my journey who have been through this and just how difficult this journey is. And as you say, we have so many expectations put on us, and perhaps we could be our own worst enemies putting expectations on ourselves. How can we gently and kindly ease ourselves into motherhood and having to juggle so many roles in life?
I am so happy you asked that question because this is so vitally important. When you have a new baby, and especially, I don't know about where you're at, but or if you're listening anywhere in the world, but here in the United States, it tends to be like, oh, you have your baby. I'm going to leave you alone so you can bond with your baby. Honestly, if you have a friend, sibling, whatever, in-law who's having a baby, please don't do that. Please reach out to them, show up on their doorstep, bring them food, come and sit with that baby so they can take a shower even. So I'm a very social human being. I'm out in the world. I love my life. I mean, yeah, da, 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 da. Now I'm home with the baby. And my husband works in the corporate world, so he's gone. And I couldn't afford to have a nanny full time, and a lot of people don't. So my baby also had colic. So it was a spiral effect very quickly. And to go back to the question you asked, the best advice, which I did not do, there's a couple things. When your baby takes a nap, please rest. I cannot
Mhm.
nap. I'm not a napper. I have trauma from childhood. So when I try to nap during the day, my body goes, like, I cannot. I wish I could do it. My husband can do it in 2 seconds flat. But lay down, curl up, sleep next to like rest next to your baby while they're taking a nap. But take that time to rejuvenate your body. It's really, really important. Your nutrition is extremely important. I was so tired and depleted. I started living on sugar to keep me going. And that was not good for my mind. So that's a spiral effect, caffeine, sugar, and then also tough on the baby if you're breastfeeding, not healthy. So be kind to yourself and recognize, don't worry about cleaning up the house. It's not going anywhere. And explain to your spouse if they don't get it during this time. I need to be gentle with myself and I need you to help me. Not everyone has that dynamic in their household. I did not. I did everything. I'm good. Look at me. I'm the dancing monkey. I got it all down. That threw me into a very horrible depression. So please don't do that.
Yeah, and then I love that you say, just having that support network and conversations, and even just before we went live, just having the friends to call, it's
Yes.
so, so soothing and just amazing, especially. And here's the thing with mental health, and it's such a big umbrella saying mental health, but what I really mean by that, well, sometimes, like I said, we can be our own worst enemies and our minds can go into spiral. And if you don't step in or someone doesn't step in to help you or break that pattern, it can really send you on this journey that could be self sabotaging.
Absolutely. Well, and also too, I want to make it very clear if anyone has a baby and they are having thoughts of harming themselves or their baby, please reach out to someone. Please tell someone. We get so ashamed of these thoughts. And I'm going to be very honest. Mine was this running loop of picturing throwing my daughter off our balcony. Now, how horrible is that? How horrible did I feel about myself? I thought I was the most horrific human being in the world and I needed to remove myself. And that's actually called obtrusive or intrusive thoughts. It's one of
Mhm.
9 perinatal mood disorders, and it's actually normal, believe it or not. So it's really important to share this information. So if you're having the thoughts, please reach out to someone so someone can either normalize it for you or perhaps you need medication, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you have to be on it the rest of your life. It's not permanent. And I thought my life was permanent like that. It's not. I have the best life, the best connection with my daughter. It will change. So I want that to be clear.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you don't have to be an expert yourself in perinatal disorders and but you have to recognize and just tap into yourself as in, "Oh, what's going on with
Yeah,
me?" Just asking that question, what's going on with me? And maybe it's time to reach out for help. And I know we had some conversations before, Tanya, where you said, you know, I was completely not oblivious, but you didn't want to accept that the fact that you needed help, and someone had to really kind of, yeah, just bring that to your awareness that something is not right.
absolutely. It was my daughter's godmother, Danielle, sat me down and said, "Something's wrong with you." And I was so angry. I thought, "How dare you? I'm tired. I have a baby." And then I looked at her and she was bawling. And I was like, "Uh-oh, that's not someone accusing me. That's someone who's scared for me." And I remember that drive home. We had breakfast. I remember coming up Van Nuys Boulevard thinking, "Oh my God, I'm like, this is terrible." But it was the beginning of an awareness. As much as I didn't want to hear it, all of my friends could see it. And then I read Brooke Shields' book, Down Came the Rain. And that was the first time I went, "Oh my God, I have postpartum depression." I was finally able to put a label to it. And once I could, then I was able to get the help I needed to climb my way back out of it. And this whole process was a good 5.5 months before I
Mhm.
finally was like, "Oh, I think I'm going to be okay." But you will get there. I promise.
Yeah. And, on social media, we have so much of the perfect life, the perfect motherhood, the perfect baby, and the perfect arrival of a new baby. Of course, we don't see what's behind the scenes,
Yes.
but that can also put a lot of pressure on us as women to be this perfect mom that perhaps at times we could feel like a failure. So if you could just speak into that a little bit.
I am so glad you brought that up. And I think everyone can relate to this. I really do. I even have someone now that she had a baby, and within 1 week, she's in her Chanel outfit, holding the baby, looking perfect. And even I'm going, "How are you doing that? How are you out and about doing that already?" So here's the truth for most of us. When you see a good selfie of me on my social media, let me tell you something. That's picture number 58 with 6 filters in the right lighting. And there you have it. And I'm like, "Oh, that looks good." The truth is, that is not who we are. If you would have seen me with my daughter hysterically sobbing in my sweats with milk leaking through on my sweatshirt, haven't brushed my teeth, haven't taken a shower, greasy hair, bawling my eyes out. I actually wish I would have posted more of that, because that is reality. And when you're looking at social media, when you're in the space I was in, please know it is a false narrative. It is not the truth. So don't look at that and think, "What's wrong with me?" Nothing is wrong with you. Just most people want to show themselves in this false light that's not real. So I give kudos to the ones like Paulina Porizkova, who will show herself at her worst moments. And now everyone loves her for it because she's real. And so just know that.
Yeah, just don't let that put pressure on you or judge yourself, comparing yourself to, I don't know,
To
just
everyone, I just quickly, I also want to say, maybe during that time for you, take a social media break. It's not going anywhere, right? It'll be there in 2 months, 6 months, whatever, but maybe remove yourself from it so you don't put yourself into that headspace. If you recognize it's triggering you, and this is very important, I want to touch on this. If you recognize what's triggering you, and the biggest one really is it's lack of sleep, lack of community. Those are a couple. If you have a history of depression in your family, if you had a traumatic birth, these are all things that can trigger. But whatever it is, be aware. So if it's lack of community, call someone, reach out, make sure you do. Don't try to be a hero in that moment, because as human beings we're actually meant to be with each other. That's why COVID has been so hard, and the lockdowns, because there was such isolation. So just reach out.
yeah, amazing. So Sade says, can postpartum depression last a long time and affect one's relationship with the child?
That's a wonderful question. Thank you for asking it. Yes, it can. Everyone is different. I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios. Some women will have it the second they have the baby. Mine kicked in 3 weeks after I had my baby. I know women that it kicked in a year after they had their baby. I know women who have navigated it and gotten out of it in weeks and months, and women who have had to deal with it for years. So I love this question. If you are aware that you still are not feeling good or you're not feeling bonded with your baby, definitely take action on that, because there, between medication, therapy, coaching, there are many different modalities that can help you. Can it affect your relationship with the baby? Yes, the technical answer is yes, it can. But I also want you to know that through your time with your child as they grow, the love that you are going to give that baby, and the chances are you're going to recognize, like, oh my gosh, I went through this. I really want to make sure I heal this section of my life. Let me tell you something very, very important. I used to look at my daughter and go, something is wrong with you because of me. So this is mindset. If I'm projecting that onto my child, guess what? Something is wrong with her. So the truth is, each of us chooses to come here on our journey through our parents. We choose with our baby to come through us, and each of us has our own journey. So nothing is wrong with your child, and nothing's even wrong with you. You are going through something. It does not mean something's wrong. So, love and self compassion for you, for your baby, and for your life, and gratitude is really important.
I love that. And it doesn't last forever. Nothing lasts forever. And
No,
even however difficult it is in that moment, just know it's not going to be here forever. So you'll get through it.
absolutely. And I, as you know, one of my sayings is sometimes your mess is your message. What I've gone through has helped me create the most fantastic life, because I get to be of service and help other women. I have an amazing relationship with my daughter, and I have a documentary called When the Bow Breaks, a documentary about postpartum depression that's out in the world. I co-authored a book called Absolute Vision, which talks about my story and how I've turned it into a vision. That's on Amazon. So there are many blessings that come through our toughest moments in our life if we choose to look at it that way.
Wow, so inspiring. I tell you, so inspiring. You're just such an amazing human being that I feel like we're so blessed to have you on this journey. And, just to have you sharing your story, your message with our audience to inspire them, to tell them that it's okay. It's okay to go through these things. It's absolutely normal. You're not alone. Like Tanya
Yeah.
said, 1 in 5 women go through past depression after giving birth. So it's more common than you know, and don't judge yourself. So it's been a pleasure to talk about how to take care of yourself as a new mom today. Tanya, you are a speaker at the Women Thrive Summit. Tell us a little bit more what you will be covering during the summit.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. Thank you so much. So, I will be talking about my journey, as we touched on a little bit today. And then I'm also going to be talking about the documentary, how that came about. And then how, again, a little bit what we touched on, how whatever traumatic event we go through in our life, we can actually take that and it can propel you into the most brilliant part of your future self. Because we either get to be the creator or the victim. You cannot be both. And you get to choose who you want to be in your life, how you want to show up, and how do you want to leave your contribution in this world? Who do you want to be? And it's a very exciting topic.
Wow, thank you so much, Sunny. I look forward to seeing you there. For those of you who may have not heard of the Women Thrive Summit, so Women Thrive Summit is one of the biggest global women empowerment events that we host every year. It happens every March, so it's the third week of March, and we have 47 amazing speakers from all around the world covering topics from visibility, marketing, healing, doing your inner work, personal growth and development, as well as many business topics to help you rise and thrive not only in your business but also your life. So head over to womenthrivesummit.com, register for your spot. Make sure you check out Tanya as well and register for her talk specifically to attend. And Tanya, how do people get in touch with you? How do someone follow up with you if they wanted to?
Very easy. You see my name on the screen. So just Tanya Newbould, NEWBOULD.com. If you would like, you can book a discovery call with me to find out if you would like coaching or if there's any way I can be of service to you. And also, too, if you mention that you saw me here, I will be offering a 10% discount because of the Woman Thrive Summit. And so I would love to be of service. And even if you just need someone, you want to write me and you want me to write you back, please, I'm here for you. No one should suffer. No one should feel alone. It's very important that you feel like you have a sense of community. And that's very important to me.
Thank you. You're such an amazing woman to open your doors to our audience, for help and support, questions, and to be part of this journey. Honestly, when we first connected, I was so inspired, not only
Mm.
by the journey and the difficulties that you have gone through, but also the transformation you have had and the woman that you have become, and all these amazing projects like creating this documentary, writing books, just doing the transformational work and really serving from your heart and soul. It's a magical thing. So I'm super grateful to have met you on the journey.
I'm very grateful to be here. I'm very honored and humbled. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone watching this. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your questions. Do make sure you head over to womenthrivesummit.com, register, and of course, connect with Tanya across different social media channels or on her website. So we look forward to seeing you on another social media live with one of our speakers in the near future. And for now, I hope you have a beautiful day, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care for now.
Bye.